It's Satta here. I hope you're having a good time, wherever you happen to be. So, I want to talk about my little trip to America. So, it is a lot hotter in Australia right now than it was in America. And it's taking a little bit of getting used to. If you can't notice, I've gotten rid of all the facial hair. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. It's weird not having a beard. I think I've had that for year and a half, 2 years now, and I just grown accustomed to it. So now I can really see the fat on my chins. This one's going to be a long video. I want to touch on a couple of different things about my trip, and just let you guys know what kind of happened. So October 31st. I land in LAX and go through checkpoint after checkpoint after checkpoint after checkpoint after checkpoint after checkpoint, and that was a little intimidating. To be fair, make you feel like a criminal, but I guess that's just how it has to be at the moment with certain things going on. But I don't want to talk about that. So I go from LAX and fly into San Francisco and get picked up by missing persons, Anthony, who was the first person to let me live with them in America for approximately 2 weeks, roughly. I forget the dates, but it's irrelevant. His family were gracious enough and were awesome enough to let me crash in their house for a couple of weeks, and they had a newborn baby, and beyond anything of what I had expected. If I wanted anything, they jumped in the car, drove down. Anthony's wife would often go down to Starbucks to get me the vanilla bean frappuccino, because they don't sell them here in Australia. Starbucks. Pointing in the wrong spot. Get on that. Sell the vanilla bean frappuccinos. I don't care how much they are. I'm going to put my phone here on silent. Such a noob YouTuber. So yeah, there was lots of good things there. They spent, Anthony helped me trying to get a mobile phone for such a long time, and the first way that we did it was the way that we ended up going, but there was about a week difference in there trying to get it cheaper and stuff. But I'm not going to bore you with a cell phone story or mobile phone story. So from there in San Francisco, Sacramento area, we then drive down to Anaheim. And that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'll be honest. I don't like being in a car for too long. But actually, seeing some of the countryside and seeing how LA has to get water down from Reno, which is where Lake Tahoe, from where I stayed the last time I was here. So we drive down to Anaheim, do the BlizzCon thing. That was a blast. I caught up with Mike, one of my longest friends, pretty much in general, but on the WoW side of things, my longest friend in WoW. So we all caught up, we all crashed in the same hotel. Sausage fest all the way around. Pranks were played. Those stories are probably a little bit too disgusting for YouTube. I don't know, we'll see. If there's enough requests. They're not pretty, so... So from Anaheim we drove into LA, and I met Douglas whilst I was at BlizzCon. I met Douglas and we went up to LA. And then we hung out for the night, and then we ended up driving back to Sacramento the next day, for which I stayed there for about another two or 3 days, just chilled out, and then went across to Ohio to meet Cleopatra and Centalis. And they are Fleo was the one that actually paid for the flight, which pretty much made everything happen. So that, I cannot thank you guys enough. And I've said this before in the last vlog. I don't want to touch on it and make people go, oh, you keep saying the same thing. So I stayed there for about 2.5 weeks, and I was supposed to stay for an extra week and a half, extra 8 or 9 days. But Douglas, as you guys know from Darren McTire, he wanted me to come and meet the Teamcrafted guys. Excuse me one sec, before I get into Ohio, I want to cross back onto BlizzCon. I've been tossing up about telling this story now, and I've decided that I'm going to. So whilst I was at BlizzCon, I ran into a gentleman. Well, sorry, Mike and Anthony ran into a gentleman, and his son was a huge Sodapoppin fan, to the point where the kid was too shy to come up and say hello to Soda. And those guys came and found me. I think I was either getting a beer or I was having a pee. I was one of the two. But I ended up meeting this guy, and I'm like, well, I know Soda a little bit. I'll let Soda know, and we can get your son to meet him. That shouldn't be a problem at all. That's essentially why Soda and myself, Swifty, they're there to meet people. So what had happened was. We went back watching the arena tournament, and I just happened to see Soda sitting beside us, and so I went over and told him that there was a kid that was wanting to meet Sodapoppin, and he was too shy. And I told him the story with what I just said with the father and all that sort of stuff, and Soda was like, "Well, when you see him, point him out, and I will pretend to be his fan." And about 5 minutes later, we're still watching the arena tournament, and I got notified that the gentleman was walking down with his son. And it was just weird. Like, I just turned to the side to try and catch Soda's attention, and right as I did that, he's also looked at the same time. It was very romantic. It was like the clouds. No, I'm just kidding. It was just one of those things that was weird. Like, I want your attention, and I didn't say a word. I just sort of turned around, and he sort of looked across at me. And I went, that's him over there. And without a second thought, Sodapoppin spun around in the chair and stood up and was like, "Hello, I'm your biggest fan." And the kid's just gone, "Oh my God." And Sodapoppin went over, like, pretty much ran over and shook his hand, gave him a hug or something like that. And the look on their father's face, it's just the things that you don't forget. He turned to me, and you could see just in his eyes, he was like, "Thank you." He came up to me later, and he's like, "I need to buy you a beer, I need to do something, I need to repay you in somehow." I'm like, "No, that's just me. This is what I enjoy doing." And yeah, so I didn't ask Soda to do any of this. He just did it out of the graciousness of his heart, I guess you'd say. And I just thought that I needed to tell this story. There's a couple of these stories coming as well. The whole thing just blew me away. So fast forward to Ohio. It was cool. I saw snow falling from the sky for the first time. It was snowing, and we walked down to the main street of Dayton, I think it was called. And they had blocked it off and had like all Christmas stuff along the side, and they had like the Clydesdale horses pulling the carts so you could go for a ride and stuff like that. So that was kind of cool. I did try and get a couple of photos, but the iPhone at nighttime just does not do some very good work. So that was kind of cool. Even though that was me and Centalis walking up down the street, it seemed a little gay, but but no, I'm glad I did it, and there isn't anything really Christmas orientated here where they shut down the street of the main street of our city or town for that kind of stuff. So they might do it in Sydney for like the carols and stuff like that, but that's a different thing altogether. So that was really cool. So a little straightforward, and Doug asked if I can go back to LA to help him out with some things. I of course, out of politeness, asked Kim if it was cool if I left a little bit early, and she was like, "Yeah, that's fine." And so I ended up back in LA for, I think it was 8 days, and I met everyone from Teamcrafted, and so yeah, I thought they were going to be snobs, like hoity-toity, without sort of being too rude, I guess. And it just couldn't have been anything further from the truth. The very first day that I got there, the first time, a couple of the guys went, "Oh, you're Satta. Douglas has been talking about you all the time." And I said, "Oh, hopefully it's all good things." And, of course they laughed and said, "Yeah, that was all good." Husky, my kids gave me a hug and said, "Hey, how you going?" And, I got to know Husky pretty well. So when I got back this time, the guys were there shooting a photo shoot. If you haven't seen their channel, they've just launched a new channel. It's youtube.com/teamcrafted. And I have really helped to help that channel out. You'll notice that there are some questions videos on there. I filmed, come up with the questions, much like you've seen before on the Dara channel. And but the guys they were all really cool. Not at one point did I feel like I was an outsider. Not at one point did I feel like my opinion was not going to be heard. They really made me feel welcome, and it really surprised me, to be honest. And I can't thank them enough for putting in whatever effort. Maybe it might be little for some of them. It could have been a lot for the other guys. But they were all really cool dudes, getting their work done all the time. And the other thing I want to make mention, I had found out that my cousins, my now cousins, were actually huge Teamcrafted fans. So I had asked Sky to say just a very quick hello to my cousin, and he was like, "Yeah, sure, man, not a problem. Just give me a few minutes to, I don't know, just finish off whatever it is he was doing." So that was cool. And then it was about the day later I had found out that my other little cousin was also a Teamcrafted fan, and Husky Mudkips was like, "Well, I'll say hello, man. That's cool." And they are very busy. A lot of people don't know exactly what goes into YouTube and how many hours and hours it takes. It's quite crazy. So for them to take a couple minutes out of their time to say hello to my cousin way back here in Australia, it really meant a lot. It really meant a lot. Don't know if you realise how much, at least to me, but to my family back here, that's something that they're going to remember for a long time. So, in fact, one of these cousins will probably watch this video and probably leave a comment in the down below. So, that's you, Aaron. So the trip was amazing. It was amazing. So what is happening now is, come January, I'm headed back to LA. And I am going to be working both with and for Teamcrafted, and for my long-time viewers who have still made it here, there'll be a select few of you. I know who it is. My channels should hopefully start to grow very soon, and I appreciate everyone for sticking with us. I'm pretty certain that I can finally say that I've made it, and I thank you guys so much. And hopefully this next chapter stays just as personal. And yeah, there's lots of good stuff coming. I can't share any of it just yet, but the good news is that I'm back in LA, in January, because my birthday's in a couple of days. We've got Christmas, then New Year's, and then I should be an uncle come January 9th. So it's pretty good that I'm home about this time. So thank you for watching, guys. Remember to like, comment, favorite, subscribe, and all that sort of good stuff. My name is Satta, and we should be getting back into the daily videos here. Alright, guys, I love you, thank you, and I shall see you later.